Have you ever wondered why you can dream big, but you can't move your body to actually do the work? It's one of the strangest human contradictions. You want a better life. You want success, discipline, confidence. You want to change your habits, your focus, your future. But when the moment comes to start, you suddenly feel heavy. Your mind gets foggy. You find yourself scrolling, eating, procrastinating, and you don't even know why. And then you judge yourself. Why am I like this? Why am I so lazy? But here's the truth nobody told you. You're not lazy, you're overwhelmed. Your ambition is big, but your brain is scared. And that's exactly why the samurai created a system for people who wanted greatness, but were trapped in cycles of low action. They called it Kaizen. Let me tell you a story about a samurai you've probably never heard of. His name was Issei Shinkuro. He wasn't born disciplined. He wasn't naturally hard-working. Historical accounts say he often lacked motivation, failed early missions, and even got scolded for being unfocused. In modern terms, he was ambitious but lazy just like many of us. But Shinkuro had one belief that changed everything. A great warrior is not built by big actions, but by the smallest actions repeated without fail. He realized discipline isn't something you turn on, it's something you build molecule by molecule. So he did something revolutionary for his time. He broke every task into pieces so small that even on his worst days, he could still move forward. And that is what turned him from an average, inconsistent samurai into one of the most respected strategists of his era. Kaizen, the samurai method. For ambitious but lazy people, Kaizen means continuous improvement by 1%, tiny steps, invisible progress, small wins, repeated daily. It's the system designed for people who want greatness but struggle with starting. Samurai used Kaizen in 3 steps. Aikaizen, Rule 1. Make the step insultingly small. Shinkuro used to say, if the task feels heavy, cut it in half. If it still feels heavy, cut again. If your goal is to study 1 hour, start with 1 minute. If your goal is to run 3 miles, start by putting on your shoes. If your goal is to start a business, start with writing down one idea. Why does this work? Because the brain's resistance is triggered not by the task itself, but by the emotional weight of the task. When you make the step so small that the brain sees no threat, it finally lets you move. This is called the minimum viable effort principle. Kaizen Rule 2. Repeat until identity changes. Samurai weren't obsessed with motivation. They were obsessed with identity. Identity creates action consistency far more than motivation ever could. If you read for 2 minutes a day, eventually you become someone who reads. If you exercise for 1 minute a day, you become someone who trains. If you write 1 sentence a day, you become a writer. The action may be tiny, but the identity shift is enormous. And here's something powerful. Once identity changes, discipline becomes automatic. You're no longer forcing yourself to act, you're simply acting like the person you believe you are. Kaizen Rule 3. When you feel resistance, shrink again. Most people fail because they believe, if something gets hard, I should push harder. Samurai believed the opposite. If something gets hard, make the step smaller. Shinkuro would shrink his habits dozens of times. Training too difficult? Practice 1 movement. Study too overwhelming? Read 1 phrase. Sword drills exhausting? 1 controlled breath. Because Kaizen isn't about intensity. It's about consistency. And consistency is built by lowering resistance to near zero. This is why samurai improved for decades without burnout or collapse. Why this matters for you, especially if you live in the matters. The U.S. Most Americans suffer from mental overload. Too much information, too many expectations, too many choices, too much pressure to be productive. It's no wonder people feel lazy, their brain is drowning. Kaizen gives you a way to breathe again, a way to return to the smallest, gentlest step, a way to build momentum without force, a way to change your life without triggering your brain's panic system. No one in the world changed their life overnight. Take small steps. The truth about samurai. You must remember, samurai is not Superman. You don't wake up motivated every day. You don't always feel strong or disciplined. But you have mastered something the rest of us never have. You have mastered taking the smallest steps, even on your worst day. That's Kaizen. That's discipline. That's transformation. So, if you're ambitious but lazy, good. You're the person Kaizen is for. Right after this video, take one small action towards your goal. 1 page, 1 minute, 1 breath, 1 movement. Do it so small that your brain doesn't resist. And tomorrow, repeat. Your life won't change by force. It will change by accumulation. Samurais didn't win by force. They won by persistence. And you can too. If this message has touched your heart, if a part of you feels seen, understood, or awakened, then consider signing up.